Good day. In this video, I'm going to show you how to generate your IRP5 file for your Easyfile submission for the tax year ending February 2020. The first thing that you would need to ensure is that all of your address details have been set up correctly on the company. So in order to do this, you will click on Setup, Company Setup, Address Details. So on the screen before you, you can see that you would have to set up the contact information for the person who is in charge of the payroll. Also, you would have to put in the company registration number as well as the email address. The balance of the screen is in relation to inserting your address details. So you would have to put in your PO box address details as well as trade class and SIC7 code. So this information you will get from your company documents, which you would then need to select from the list provided. Okay, if it does not appear here, you would need to insert it. The same goes for the SIC7 code. So you can select it from the list that is provided. If it is not in here, you will then have to insert it and then select it from the list. You'll have to put in the address details for the company, and you will need to indicate if the postal address is the same as the street address. You'll insert all of the contact numbers for the company as well. Once you have done this, you would either copy across those address details to the employees if they do not have their own address details. This is a requirement by SARS that every employee on your system would have to have address details. So in order to copy across the address details, you would click on Setup, Employee, Current Employee Details. So this is a list of your current employees, but also keep in mind that if you are going to copy across the address details to the current employees, you will have to do the same for the terminated employees. You will click on Tag All and then click on Copy Addresses. So this gives you three options, whether you want to do it physical to physical and postal to postal, or if it is physical to postal, or if it is postal to postal. In this case, I am going to do physical to physical and postal to postal, as it goes according to my company setup. I'll then click on Go. So the message that comes up is basically a confirmation as to whether or not I want to override the employee's address details with what is in the company address details. I'm going to say yes. The other step is that you will have to copy or to fix data for Easyfile and for split names. So what this does is that if there are spaces in the ID or full stops in the name or any foreign characters that are not meant to be there, this will remove it, as spaces and full stops in the names and the ID numbers are not acceptable by SARS. I will click on Go. Now that I've performed those two steps, I will click on Untag All. So I would need to do the same thing to my terminated employees. So in order to do that, I go to Setup, Employee, Terminated Employees. I will tag all of the employees and copy address details. Again, the same. I'm going to select physical to physical and postal to postal and say Go. Then I'm going to fix data for Easyfile and say Go. Once I have done that, I'm going to click on Untag All. Now that we have copied across the address details, the next thing to do would be to generate the IRP5 file. Now this is found under year end, generate Easyfile electronic file. You will have to insert the tax year 2020. If you click on the next line, it will change the file name to irp5.20. You need to take note of where this file is getting stored, because you will collect it to either email through to your accountant, or you will import this into your Easyfile application. In this case, the file is going to my C drive, W wages, plan ahead, and the file name is going to be irp5.20. I will then click on OK. So this screen allows you to either do a live file or to do a test file. So you will select on test if you are testing the file to see if you have any warnings or if there are any errors that you have on the file. If you do have warnings and if you do have a list of errors, you would need to come back into the program and attend to them. Very important to remember as well is that if I have more than one data set, my starting certificate numbers will change so as not to duplicate certificates. So if I have dataset 1 and dataset 2, my first dataset is going to be certificate starting at certificate 1, and if the employees in this dataset end at 50, my next dataset certificate number is going to start at 51. Okay. I've now selected live, and it is the tax year 2020. If this is going to be a final February submission, meaning a year-end submission, I'm going to select on yes. Automatically, this will put in my start date for the tax year and the end date for the tax year. If, however, it was an August submission, meaning a biannual submission, then I would select no, and it will change it to whichever periods it is for my August submission. I'm going to select on yes again for final February submission. And as you can see, it has changed the dates of the tax periods for that period. Okay. Also, the name of the electronic file, it tells me the path of where my file is going to get stored. So I'm going to click on go to generate the file. And if I go to the path of where my file had been stored, you will see that it is in my local C drive, W wages, and my plan ahead folder. So here is the file that I've just generated. So this file is going to either get imported into your Easyfile application if you are doing the submission on your own, or it will get sent off to your accountant, who will then do the submission for you.